You ready?
We live now, man.
Now we live. Black African Power family. What's good? What's happening? Well organized lie defeats a disorganized truth. Every time, man. Man, look, man. Hey, ain't no fun sitting at the top by yourself. Ain't no fun. Man, so what's going on, Black Panther? What it do, bro? Glad to have you in the building, man. Glad to see you back around.
Hey, man, a Bibi for Houdier, Spears is flying, Pseudos is crying. I'm back in the building, trying to build tonight on this scientific racism, man. It's good. The squad, squad up. We at the Black Dot Cultural Center on the 25th.
Damn right.
Jawu. So, if you in the ATL, come on out and support us, man. Check our Instagram page, Amara Squad. You'll find all the information on there. Check us on Facebook at Amara Squad Group. You can check us right here on the YouTube channel, Amara Squad Media, website, amarawsquad.org. So, we always in the community doing big things. We don't just run our mouth on the internet. We got to go out into and meet you guys and speak truth to power in the community. That's very important. So that's what we're going to be doing on the 25th. Come on out and support us.
Yeah. What's going on, brother Nahisi? I'm a Raw Squad up.
I'm a Raw Squad up. Marcy Warrior, Black African Power. I appreciate y'all letting me on the. Yeah, Marcy Warrior. Yeah, appreciate y'all letting me on the panel. Get ready for the night. See what we're discussing.
Yeah. So okay. So as we grow as a community and as we grow as a family, the I'm a Raw Squad. First, I like to say I just appreciate y'all, brothers. I appreciate the book you writing there, brother Nahisi. Can't wait to read it. I'm sure you're gonna put it in terms to where the community can kind of understand it. So big ups to you on that. I mean, I don't mean to put the pressure on you. You know what I'm saying? Take your time, right? Make sure the work is right. Appreciate you, brother Ben. Saying, being in the community.
I'm putting the pressure.
You gonna put the pressure on him? Yeah, you gonna put the pressure on him on the Mossy side.
Hurry up.
So yeah, like I was saying, I appreciate you, Ben. Appreciate your work in the community, man. Appreciate your unwavering commitment to studying traditional African spiritualities. Appreciate that. Just appreciate you being in the community, period. And you're my friend. You've been around for a minute. Appreciate your loyalty. And that goes for you too, brother Nahisi. I appreciate your loyalty. Shout out to Sister Naya, Voices on Fire. Shout out to Smash Rock Wells. Shout out to Dr. Oya Mayat. Shout out to Wu Jia. Shout out to Saw. Shout out to Son Jetty. You know what I'm saying? I think that's everybody. I say Smash. I think I did. Yep. Shout out. All right. So we growing, and we to the point where we kind of realize that our people are definitely sick Africans, and that does not exclude us. And so what we always wanted to do was kind of give a sometimes we put a mirror up to something, and you can actually see yourself. So I think that's what we do. We actually give you a chance to really see yourself, okay? And that's important to see yourself. And not only is it important to see yourself, it's important to see different viewpoints. And I think that's what we do. We allow people to see themselves, right, and all their flaws, and we allow people to see the other side of the coin. And so this scientific racism is an issue that is bubbling, you know what I'm saying, in the community. And it's only bubbling in the conscious community. You feel me? So like this thing is understood already on what scientific racism is, what it is, and what it's not. All right. So let me kind of start off a little bit. All right. And just a working definition of what this is. So scientific racism, okay, referred to as race biology or racial biology or race realism, is the pseudoscientific belief that empirical evidence exists to support or justify racism, okay, discrimination, racial inferiority, or racial superiority, right? Historically, scientific racism ideas receive credence in the scientific community, but are no longer considered scientific. And so that's very, very important that as we stand today, based off the work of scientists, right, whether we want to believe it or not, right, we now understand that that was a pseudoscientific concept, all right? And so I've always said this, that there is no time in science where you did not have opposing views. That's what makes it science. Anybody want to add something to that?
Man, it's really summed it up in the first paragraph, because you said that scientific racism is the pseudo-scientific belief that empirical evidence exists to justify racism or racial discrimination or racial inferiority or racial superiority.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people, the pseudo scientific, which means that I support. This means that people that say bad things about scientists are already defeated. Because you're saying, oh, we shouldn't mess with science because they got scientific racism. The body of science as a whole deemed scientific racism pseudo. Therefore, they are telling you that as a whole. So they don't support one race being superior or race being inferior. They look at all in their proper context. So it's a pseudo-scientific idea. Therefore, you cannot use it to combat, discredit science, because science does not.
Right. How about you, Brother Nahis? You want to add something to that?
Only thing I can add is you're just not gonna get around science regardless. You just can't get around it. It'll outweigh you every time. You can't beat science.
Hey, Brother Sean, what's good, man? Mosh Clan Warrior. What's good, man? I'm Raw Squad Up. I see you.
I'm Raw Squad Up. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on? You want to add something to that?
Nah, you can't add nothing behind what Ben just said, man. It's in line, man. I don't know why they fighting so hard against science. I mean,
You know why they are, Brother Sean? You know why they fighting so hard against science? And you know, Amara Squad, we've discussed this in our little training sessions for years. When you say the word scientist, you know what pops up in people's heads? A white guy in a lab coat with a pocket and some glass.
yeah, you make an excellent point. I think that's just like what Garfield used to say. He said when he used to close his eyes and he hear the name Jesus, he think of a white man. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yep. It's the same analogy.
Exactly. With that vision in our heads, right? We hear science to a white dude. You know, James Small saying our souls, man, because we see notions in our mind that science is white. when you go back and do the historical study, is undoubtedly you can't challenge the Lumumba, you can't challenge the Shango bone. You can't challenge papyrus or the Brembire papyrus. These artifacts exist science. And they are the foundation for what modern science is today. So if you, when you hear science, totally different problem outside of defeating science, you have a cultural misunderstanding of what science is and who the first scientists were.
In fact, you can go to West Africa and they call it the bush. And you can see healers in the village, documented herbs and plants and stuff like that. This clearly shows that the African was always dedicated to science. Most of the pharmaceutical companies, matter of fact, I can pull it up. They get a lot of medicines from the rainforest. Okay, they routinely sit with traditional practitioners, and see, this is what people don't know. They actually sit with traditional practitioners around the world, in Amazon and Africa, and they get a lot of formula from them. And they take it back and they break it down, they synthesize it, they do whatever they need to do, and it is what it is. And so they have no problem, as much as they didn't call black people monkeys, underdeveloped Africa, quote unquote, black people are dumb. Man, they sure as hell sitting with them people on a regular basis all the time. You can't deny that. You know, a scientist always give credit to where he gets his foundation from. And I'm gonna read a couple things in a minute. The topic is very, very important because we just need to be clear. Time out for the blackology, man. Where you make everything black, where you only see one side of the argument. If you're in a fight and all you got is a right hand, at the end of the day, if you come up against a foe that is good with both his hands, you're gonna lose. You need to be able to understand the whole equation. You need to be able to recognize, like Nahisi said, it's impossible to get around nature. You're not going to get around nature. So you best be studying her. I'm going to say it again, you're not going to get around nature. You're just not. And a lot of times as human beings, we think nature, revolve around us on our time. You know what I'm saying? We think that. Nature does not revolve around us. Nature don't need us. We need nature. The only difference between us and the rest of the living organism on planet Earth, the rest of the animals, is that we walk around talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, we need to recognize that. I think you said it though, Ben, earlier today. You said that people put, science in their own cultural context. Was that you that said that, Ben? You said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I wasn't talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely in their own cultural context.
Right. And so of course they thought they were superior. No one gave the history of read the book by Walter Rodney's, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. By the time they got to West Africa, we was building up another civilization. But how many times do you got to rebuild a damn civilization? How many times do you got to kick down an anthill, build it up again? Kick down an anthill, build it up again. You know what I'm saying? They had us on that process. You can go all the way back to the Hiscos. They get defeated, you know what I'm saying, by the 18th dynasty. Okay. Then you get the Assyrian invasion. Okay. Then you get the Persian. They you know, I think Shabak and them get defeated. Okay, they get defeated. They lose against Sennacherib. All right, Sennacherib defeats Shabaka. All right, then you get the Persians come in and push out the Assyrians. Dr. Ben talks about, I mean, Walter Williams talks about this in his book, and he kept pushing us. You know what I'm saying? This is a fact right here. Okay? After the Persians push out the Assyrians, right? Then the Greeks push out, you know what I'm saying? I think the Greeks push out, no, they don't push out the Assyrians. Who I say the Greeks pushed out? Not the Assyrians, they push out the, Greece didn't fight the Assyrians. I forgot how the hell I jumped my mind. I got on this daggone phone. Killed me dead in the water. Persians. All right. Then the Romans defeat the Greeks and push out the Greeks. Then, you know, the Arabs, you know what I'm saying? They push out, you know what I'm saying? The Byzantine Empire, the Romans, they pushed them out. All right. Then, quote unquote, you know, European colonialism come in. Look at this history right here. How much time is that? Constantly invading, constantly invading. Read the book Destruction of Black Civilization. It details this, that we was always trying to rebuild. They was always pushing us down south, cornering us off, always. Then you got to add nature to it. And so, you know, you figure for the first 2 million years of human history, Africa led the world in science and technology. All right. Yeah, plain and simple. Whether that be Australopithecus, whether that be Homo habilis, tool maker, you know what I'm saying? Homo erectus, you know what I'm saying? You know, they still an African stock, okay? And they manipulate nature, all right? They developing certain things. Plain and simple, you can't get past that. Led the world. And so by the time the invaders come in and invade, man, it slowed us up. It slowed us all the way down to a screeching halt. So, you know, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think Brother Ben can speak to this. You can't not study how Africa got underdeveloped. Because if you don't, you'll miss it. You'll think that we didn't have science. You know, why you think people, you know, came to the valley like that? You know, you think they came to see the gods? See the statues? It's not why they came. They came because we were scientifically literate. You know what I'm saying? And we need to recognize this. And so casting science back into our image and our likeness is very, very important. Black people have been part of the scientific struggle for truth since its onset. You know, I like to give, this what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna source y'all up, right? I'm gonna talk about the Nubians for a moment. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? How they, you know, quote unquote, discovered what they call penicillin. Okay, like that's what they did that. All right, and it's on record. All right, they had medical beer. All right, and so when they went to the archaeological site and pulled up the bones resonated. You know what I'm saying? You know, with the penicillin for 200 years. Now, why is that important? Why is it important that the Nubians that invented antibiotics had it in their system for 200 years? How long has the Europeans had antibiotics in the United States? Fleming, they say, invented penicillin, right? Not 100 years. It ain't even been 100 years yet, right? And bacteria has already started to develop a resistance to that. And so these Europeans, so these Africans, so these Chinese, so these Hindu, these Indians, right? that's the world community, develop cocktails of antibiotics to fight the resistance, you know what I'm saying, that they're getting from the bacteria and the viruses. All right. I make this point, connect it back to the Nubians. How could they have medicinal beer for 200 years and not understand the process of evolution? They couldn't have kept the same type of cocktail because it wouldn't have worked no more. They couldn't have. They had to change the recipe over and over again. They had to understand that things transform. They would have had to. Else it wouldn't have made no sense to keep taking the same thing and it not do nothing for you. For 200 years. So you could never say there was a time when the African wasn't a part of, quote unquote, the scientific community. Never was that. And I know you want to say, well, we're talking about the European science. No, I'm saying science, period. Chemistry, the whole 9 yards. The oldest synthetic color is found in Egypt. All right, call it royal blue. Look it up. This is chemistry right now, right? So this issue of scientific racism is just a bunch of religious people hating on the scientific community. Make your point. Europeans did this. They absolutely did. There's no doubt about that. They used it, right, to quote unquote back their points. All right. It was misinformation. It was pseudoscience. They take Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection, right, and they mess it all up. His cousin Galton does the same damn thing and creates a pseudoscience that was called eugenics during that time. Okay? So the point and the real truth is that even if Charles Darwin was a mass murderer, Adolf Hitler was a mass murderer, and all of them was, that don't mean that has nothing to do with evolution occurring in Earth. That has nothing to do with that. But yet they'll talk about that for a whole hour on how racist it is, how the theory is racist. No, evolution is not racist. People are racist. Make the example that the splitting of atoms, you can split atoms, right, and drop a bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima and kill hundreds of thousands of people. You could split the same atoms, right, and build a nuclear plant and heat and light, you know what I'm saying, a whole city. The atom is not evil. It's the people behind the science that's evil. So since we know it's the people behind the science that can be evil, biological warfare, design of drugs, you know what I'm saying, creating certain situations based off of genes, you know what I'm saying, bringing things back to life again, all kind of stuff for good and bad reasons. It's the people behind science, you know what I'm saying, that let humanity down. It wasn't the theory of evolution. The theory of evolution actually transformed them out of the mindset that all of a sudden, we different races. And that's what people teach today in our community. They teach that we different races. They absolutely teach that. They sound just like the scientific racism, those who practice scientific racism of the day. Why is it that our community sound just like them? Somebody want to add something to that? I kind of jumped out there for a minute. I was throwing a little bit too long. Somebody want to add something?
Yeah, man. Hopefully I'm not cutting out in the chat.
No, you good.
Yeah, you good right now.
All right, I wanna share my screen a little bit.
Hey, take the avatars out, yo. So you can show your stuff.
Okay, I don't really know how to do that.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I see it. I think that's it. I think. That did not work. All right. Hold on. This is it. Nope, that didn't work either. All right, fuck it. All right. Everybody see what I'm clicking on right here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me enlarge this for you. Okay, so you see right here the 4 races of man.
Mm-hmm.
Beginning at the right, the men in the picture are arranged in the same order as the races mentioned in the text, namely the Caucasian, the Negro, the Mongolian, and the American Indian, right? Negro is not a race. Nope, it's not a race. Neither is Mongolian. Neither is American Indian. But this is the quote unquote scientific racism of this time period. So you can see from the very beginning, scientific racism was pseudo. Because this is what they came up with, right? 4 races on the entire planet. Right here. This does not represent the biological diversity that's on the planet Earth. It doesn't. It's some people that do not fit into these categories genetically or phenotypically.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what they came up with. I want to show you something else. This is a depiction of what was going on with a Dr. James Marion Sims. James Marion Sims was a doctor that was experimenting on African slaves in 1845. He didn't use any anesthesia. When they asked, why don't you use anesthesia? He said, they're Africans, they're monsters, they don't feel pain anyway.
Mm-hmm.
This is what came out of quote unquote racism. So I showed you that stuff to make a point. Mm-hmm. Now, in the case of James Marion and in the case of the 4, what is missing from this analysis of so-called science? What's missing is the actual analysis part. These are opinions. It was James Marion Sims' opinion that African people were monsters and that they didn't need anesthesia. It was the opinions of the scientists of that day that there was only 4 races on the planet, and those are the ones that they chose. But how many African slaves did James Marion Sims cut open and hear them scream before he realized that he was wrong? How many people did they have to go around the world and meet before they figured out that there are more than 4 races of man? Mm-hmm. See, they were working backwards. You're supposed to use a method. That's why they came up with the scientific method, because you have an idea, you have an hypothesis. That hypothesis has to, and once it's tested, you have to either change your hypothesis or record the results. None of these people did that. None of them. They just kind of used their already subject bias, their racist opinion, to formulate these so-called facts, right? Mm-hmm. If you really think about it, there is no such thing as scientific racism, because what they were doing was not scientific. Nor was it reporting, observing a bunch of racist white men who inflicted their already racist opinions on the matter called it fact. We know in science today there's no such thing as scientific facts. There's only the evidence that points to a conclusion, and that evidence can always change. So these men were not practicing science as we know it today. These men were not practicing a method, a scientific method. They were not using a research method. They were just as pseudo as the pseudos that we are fighting today. And this is what our community wants to study. They want to study things like that and try to discredit science. You're aligning yourself with neo-Nazis, with racist white men, and with people that have never respected the African race, and all they want to do is make these wild conclusions based off delusions of their imagination of their mind. Even the term Caucasian, if you go back to the 4 races of man, even the term Caucasian that has survived to today is a misnomer. Who amongst us thinks that every white man has an origin to the Caucasus Mountains? That's like me saying that every African has an origin in Uganda.
Yeah.
It does not work that way. How that term came into place is that it was, and I got to find his name, but it was a white guy that thought that the people from the Caucasus Mountains were the most beautiful people on the planet. So he made it a designator, and it has survived to today. But every white person doesn't have a connection to the Caucasus Mountains.
Nigga was Lamech, the father of taxonomy.
That's him. That's him. That's pseudo. Everybody, these are the most beautiful people on earth in the Caucasus Mountains. He hadn't even been all around the earth. But that was his opinion. And that's why the Caucasian name came from. It came from him. So it's really a misnomer. So you can see right from the beginning how these people got so much wrong. And that's why modern science doesn't support them. Black people don't support them that are scientists. White people don't support them that are scientists. Asian, Chinese, whatever scientists you find will tell you that scientific racism is a bunch of bullshit. So be careful what you back. You got to be careful what you back. You got to be careful what you align yourself with, because you end up looking crazy.
Amen.
I think Nahisi put up a great post about that, about people that are backing certain theories that come from the most pseudo people of all time. But, you know, I can't make you study the origins of what you're propagating to the people. All I can do is deal with the information.
Hey, Ben, you said they wasn't practicing science, huh?
No, it's not science.
You know what they was practicing?
What is it?
Science, as misspelled Muhammad's degree. They was practicing science.
The science.
They was practicing science. Nahisi, where the video at? Cue up the video.
They ain't ready for that video.
Cue up the video. Cue it up. God damn, we a little dry around here, man. Cue it up. They was practicing science. Cue it up. Please give me that. Where is it at? Send it to me. I'm queuing it up right now. Tired of them. Tired of them, you know what I'm saying, disrespecting the scientific community, you know what I'm saying, the black people, you know what I'm saying, disrespecting the conscious community with the complete foolery. I'm tired of it. I can't take it no more. I can't stand it no more. I can't take it no more. Where, you sent it to me yet?
Nah, I ain't sent it to you yet. Oh, it coming.
Put it in the daggone back chat, man, so we can see what they practicing. Oh man, Inside joke. If y'all ain't been around for more than 2 years, yo, you ain't gonna get it. But when you see it, you're gonna get it. Yes, you will get it.
The subject matter that I'm discussing, I have degrees in.
Tired of it, man.
Oh.
Hey, I got a question, man. Well, I gotta ask you this for a sister in the chat. She having a hard time wrapping her mind around it, so she needs some. She like information, so she trying to learn. So since we on live right now, and I told her that I was gonna ask, so she said it was okay. Now, on Garfield's show, Kepra came up in the chat or whatever about evolution or whatever, and being related to evolution. And she couldn't wrap her mind. She couldn't wrap her mind around it. Like she couldn't wrap her mind around. Ben, you can speak to this too. How our ancestors understood evolution, and she was thinking like this is a Darwin thing, and like this was created out of, you know, some other realm of understanding. You know, these people had no understanding of evolution, scientifically speaking. And I was like, no, it's in there. It's in the mythology. It's in there. You know, it's written. You know, then when you go and you translate text or you understand certain cosmologies and so on and so forth, it's there.
Okay, so let's do this. Hold on, watch this. All right, I'm gonna do something real simple. All right, I'm not gonna get complicated with it. All right. Okay. Let's see. So no, I don't want to use that. I don't want to use that. All right, let's see. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. We put things in proper perspective, right? I think this is important. So we're gonna need a working definition. All right. Before I show you the working definition, all right, I want to show y'all something that most people aren't even, most people aren't even familiar with. Let me just go to, all right, let's see. I'm gonna use this blog. I ain't gonna use nothing slick. Man, hold on. I'm not using nothing slick. All right, something regular. All right. This is just to put your feelers out, right? Let me show y'all something real quick. Just put the feelers out. Nothing real technical, right? And I'm gonna come back. So I owe y'all 2 sources. I'm gonna owe you a source for this, which I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna owe you a source for the Nubians dealing with antibiotics, right? So I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Before we can even get to capital, we're gonna show you that evolution is an African tradition. All right, they whole daggone system. Remember, creation creates constantly. You know what I'm saying? That's the African thing. Like, look at it. If we was to read the cosmology story. Hey, Sean, I know you got the cosmology story. I came into being as capital, right? I mean, that's not the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about, correct?
Yeah, I gotta pull it up.
Yeah, pull that up, and I want you to read that. That's going to be a continuing of constant evolution. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like the creator made something one day and boom, boom, boom. It wasn't that. It shows you that creation creates constantly. That nature is creating constantly, and that's the way they kick their thing. So let me, man, screen sharing. All right, hold on. Damn, where is it at? All right, so y'all can see the picture, right? Y'all see the screen?
Yeah.
So left-hand side, we got the black thinker, right? Al-Jaheed. On the right-hand side, we got Sir Charles Darwin. That's what Dr. Ben called him, Sir Charles Darwin. I think they knighted him or something. Sir Charles Darwin. Why? Why am I showing this? Let me show you some of the black man's work. He wrote an encyclopedia. It's called the Book of Animals. Y'all see that? one of the pages out of his book. Type it in, The Book of Animals.
Al-Jahiz.
All right. And so let's see what this says real quick. It say the father of the theory of evolution, Al-Jahiz, and his Book of Animals. I told you, I didn't even read it. All right, let me see. It's a long, I'm not gonna read that. That's a long ass name. I don't want to disrespect the brother though. Abu Uthman ibn Bar al-Qanim al-Basik. Come on, man. Or also known as Al-Jahiz, was a Muslim writer and thinker of Ethiopian descent. He was born in 776 in Basra, right? The second biggest city in Iraq. Remember, during this time, Iraq was the capital of the Arab Empire, okay? Even though his family was very poor, it did not stop. Al-Jahiz was seeking knowledge and attending lectures on different topics like Arabic poetry, philosophy, and lexicography. It says, I don't know where I'm at. It say the gain knowledge and his desire for studying would later result in more than 200 books, though unfortunately only 30 of them survived. The most famous book written by Al-Jahiz is Kitab al-Halwam, Book of Animals. This multi-volume book does not only describe more than 350 varieties of animals, but also consists of pre-Islamic poetry, personal observations, humor, storytelling, and influences of Aristotle's zoological texts. Although the Book of Animals consists of a wide range of subject, the great amount of scientific information given is of great value. Al-Jahiz introduced the concept of biological evolution in this book. After observing animals and insects, Al-Jahiz came to, listen to me, animals and insects. Al-Jahiz came to the conclusion that there must be some mechanism which has influence on the evolution of animals. And this is 1,000 years before Darwin. Plain and simple. That's not up for debate. I'm not going to debate y'all Negro opinions on this. I refuse to do it. I'm just simply showing you that's an African thinker at 776. He wrote a daggone encyclopedia, the Book of Animals, and he's talking about that. So let me do this for you. 1,000 years prior. Then we got to come to this right here. This is Sir Charles Darwin's work, The Origin of the Species by Means of Natural Selection. All right.
Hold on. Before you get to Darwin, you got to go to John Edmund Stone.
Go ahead. You got a picture of him?
Pull one up.
Remember that day, yo, we spent looking for him on some serious sources. Remember that?
Yeah, it's a, and I remember the name of the article. For those that need the source, you can go to JSTOR and type in the Black Bird Stuffer.
Wow.
When you type that, it's going to come up with an article about a man named John Edmund Stone. It covers a period in Charles Darwin's life before he came up with natural selection. He was studying from a bird and that worked on the word when he learned this from this guy. But he learned the taxonomic ranks from John Edmund Stone, who was a black man. So this theory of natural selection that Charles Darwin came up with is not really his creation. He was inspired by John Edmund Stone to write the book that Unc just showed you. So this is further proof the concept of evolution is not foreign to the African. Even the name Kepra means transformation in Medu Neter. So we have a multitude of sources that this is an African concept. If you go to Ifa and it talks about creation, it talks about Yemoja, and it talks about Ogun driving evolution forward. So this isn't something that we just made up. This isn't something that other people aren't saying. The African was aware of evolution. Go ahead, Unc.
Okay, so John Edmonstone. I mean, remember Charles Darwin was going to school to be a medical doctor. Man, Edmonstone actually convinced him not to do that. So Charles Darwin went by way of a naturalist. Edmonstone talked about the variety of species in the Amazon. This is very essential to Charles Darwin's work, like Brother Ben said. He talked about the variety of different plants and animals that was in South American's rainforests, and he studied and he talked about the diversity, and actually Darwin. People don't call Darwin a racist, but he actually set at the feet of the brother. I don't, you know what? I'm not even gonna say set at the feet, but he definitely sat in his class and didn't have a problem with a black man teaching him in a time where white people wasn't having such things. And then you got to really understand the times and how Europe had a whole different twist on slavery. They was basically dealing with the abolitionists at that particular point in history. And so, Darwin was part of that movement. His father was, his grandfather was, his wife was. They was in organizations, and they called black people their brothers. And that's documented. So anybody want to get slick, right? I'll show you that. You want to get slick, I can show you that. And so, the answer to the sister question is, you got brothers in this equation that we need to really talk about before we get to the Nile Valley. It's very not complicated at all, right? And so let's look up the definition. First of all, Charles Darwin is not the father of evolution. Let's get this straight. Charles Darwin is the father of natural selection. Scientists will say this, you know what I'm saying? People will say this, right? But the truth is, he's the father of natural selection. He created the theory of natural selection, plain and simple, which is just one mechanism, okay, in evolution. So I need to start giving you some good websites. Good website is Natural Selection, Understanding Evolution. It goes from the first grade all the way to the 12th grade, all the way to college level. Y'all need to get to this website. All right. Berkeley University. Type it in, Berkeley University, evolution. Maybe I could just give it to y'all. Hold on. Before I give you that, let me read this very simple so we can see exactly what I'm saying. Let's see how complicated Darwin's theory of natural selection was. Let's see if anybody paying attention to this one. Let's see. Natural selection is the differential survival and reproduction of individuals due to differences in phenotype. They say it is the key mechanism in evolution. Say the change in the heritable traits characteristics of a population over generations. Charles Darwin popularized the term natural selection, contrasting it with artificial selection. See, that's what all the pseudos die right there, right? Because if human beings, can create artificial selection, which they can, I'll show you, nature so as hell can create natural selection. Okay, so natural selection is simply the effect natural forces have on living organisms on planet Earth. That's all it is. Okay, you can see the diversity in the rainforest. You can see the diversity in your backyard. Go to your backyard while it's summertime. You will see a diverse population of plants, a diverse population of different types of grasses, different types of weed, different types of ants, right? And as you walk around your backyard and go into different ecologies within the backyard, you'll find different insects. Why is it there's a brown ant? Why is there a black ant? Why are they red ants? Why are they little ants? Why are they big army ants? Why are they red roses? Why are they purple roses? Why are there sticker bushes? You know what I'm saying? Why are there different types of trees? Right? Why are there evergreen trees? You know what I'm saying? Why? Why is all these things occurring? Right. Why? So let's go to the Egyptians in the Nile Valley. Did you pull that source up, Sean?
All right, let me go ahead and read it for the people.
African cosmology story.
Yeah.
Thousands of years before
Ancient
Charles
Nubians
Darwin.
antibiotic beer source. I can pull that up real quick.
All right. Give him that.
Let me share my joint.
All right. Go ahead, give him that.
Let me know when y'all can see my screen.
I can see it, but you don't got it on. You don't got it on the thing.
Okay. So this is you see it now?
All right. There you go.
Okay, this is NBC News. Ancient Nubians drank beer laced with antibiotics. If you go down to right here,
Stop.
it says the team reported their results to the American Journal of Physical Anthropology. So, journal, you will also find another article that breaks this down even more. I just pulled this one up really quick, but it's talked about different things that they found in the beer. Tetracycline right here is an antibiotic that's still used. If you ever get into some trouble with a young lady, they might prescribe tetracycline to you.
Oh man.
So, yeah, that's still being used today. This is another source that I was talking about. Excuse me, I said black bird stuffer. It's actually called Darwin's Negro bird stuffer, and you can read it online for free. That's bam. That's right there. We're at Edinburgh. That's where he was when he met John Edmonstone.
Edinburgh. Yeah.
And you can see it right here. If I can highlight, they won't let me highlight. But if you can see my mouse, they talk about right here, the black slave of my friend, Mr. John Edmonstone, the proper way to do birds. So this is where he learned it from. Just let y'all know I don't just be talking.
All right, Unc, I'm gonna go ahead and see what the Remish say. I'm gonna read it. I'm on my phone, so I can't share. But anyone know, man, it's the book of knowing the evolutions of Ra, or the many manifestations of Ra, and overthrowing a pep. All right, it says, I am he who came into being in the form of the god Khepera. I am a creator of that which came into being. That is to say, I am the creator of everything which came into being. Now the things which I created and which came forth out of my mouth after that I have come into being myself were exceedingly many. The sky or the heaven had not come into being, the earth did not exist, and the children of the earth and the creeping things had not been made at the time. I myself raised them up from out of new, from a state of helpless inertness. I found no place whereon I could stand. I work a charm upon my own heart or will. I laid the foundation of things by my art, and I made everything which had formed. I was then one by myself, for I had not admitted for myself the god Shu. I had not spit out the mouth myself, the goddess Tefnut, and there exists no other who could not work with me. You want me to continue?
Yeah. Keep going.
All right. I laid the foundations of things in my own heart, and there came into being multitudes of created things, which came into being from the created things, which were born from the created things, which arose from what they brought forth. I had union with my closed hand, and I embraced my shadow as a wife, and I poured seed into my own mouth. I sent forth from myself issue in the form of the gods Shu and Tefnut. Saith my father knew. My eye was covered up behind them, Shu and Tefnut, but after 2 periods had passed from time when they departed from me. Now, after these things, I have gathered together many members and wept over them, and men and women sprang into being from the tears which came from the forth of my eye. And when my eye came to me and found that I had made another eye in place of where it was, the moon, it was wroth with rage of me, whereupon I endowed it with some of the splendor which I had made for the first eye, and I made it to occupy its place in my face, and henceforth it ruled throughout all this earth. You want me to keep going? No, this thing long.
No, I think you got captured the basic idea. It calls the creator Kepler, and it talks about how came into being and repeats it over and over again. It's showing the actual repetition of constant transformation. I came into being as Kepler. You know what I'm saying? And it's very interesting. I came into being as Kepler. What are they trying to convey here? They're showing that everything transforms on regular basis. It wasn't a God created the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested. It wasn't that. It was showing, they was giving you a scientific perspective on how things created. You can just read the theory of the Big Bang. You can read the theory of evolution. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So they capture that right there. Remember, Egyptian science was coded in their mythology. You can read Mark Bennell's book. All right, clearly talks about that. Okay, so right there, early form. And so let's talk about the dung beetle real fast, right? Trying to find, man, let me see, hold on. Damn, hold on. One sec. All right, so Capita is a dung beetle. All right, I use it for the real black atheist symbol because it's evolution and people don't even know it. All right, they use the dung beetles. Dung beetles are the most speciaceous, and when I use this term speciaceous, I mean that the most variety of anything on planet Earth is the dung beetle. And for the most part, dung beetles, most of the species of dung beetle don't go extinct. 99% of everything that has came into being on planet Earth has went extinct. But the dung beetle, you know what I'm saying, doesn't go extinct as often. It's the most speciaceous. They're the most varieties of any insect on planet Earth is the dung beetle. In modern science, right, they use the dung beetle as a model species. So, for instance, I make the statement that if you want to learn about humans, the only way to learn about humans is to study the other animals around humans. So you can take the example of the gerbil in the cage. You put the gerbil in the cage, female gerbil in the cage, put it around other female gerbils, right? And they'll start to ovulate the same. Pretty close to each other. Okay? As long as there's not a male in the area. Take 3 college students, women, put them in the dorm room together. As long as none of the women are actually messing with a man outside that, right? They'll start ovulating together. Take the gerbils in the cage, right? Pipe in some estrogen, not estrogen. What's the male hormone? Pipe in the male hormone from the male gerbil, right? And you'll find the quote unquote the dominant gerbil will start to ovulate. All right. I say these things to say that through the study of animals is when you learn about humans. It's how you learn about humans. So they use the dung beetles as a model species. This model species helps modern science to understand biological human evolution. This is a fact. There's all kinds of support and documentation to prove it. I'll say again that modern science uses the dung beetle, which the Nile Valley Africans deified and called the Kepler, as a model species to teach them about biological human evolution. And that's not a damn coincidence. So now you want to tell me that in the Nile Valley, right? Where there's nothing but nature, okay? For thousands of years, these Nile Valley Africans wasn't watching and studying the dung beetle. They were. And they studied it so much so that they put it in this creation story as the primary force of transformation that changed. I come to being, this kept it up. I come into being over and over again. This shows they had an understanding of the natural forces. The dung beetle is a natural force in nature, right? So that's the connection between kept it up, which his name means rolling, transformation, evolution. It means that, right? Charles Darwin, in his book, he wrote a whole subchapter on dung beetles. Charles Darwin also learned Arabic to study the Muslim documentation. See, most Muslims don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? But Islam wasn't against evolution. You got great Muslim thinkers, right? They had an idea. As a matter of fact, it was some of the Muslim thinkers that said we came from originally from beasts or monkeys. I could show that. Say that for another show. Anybody want to add something?
Yeah, let me add it. Yeah, add something from another African tradition. Give you another perspective on how they deal or think about evolution. Listen up to this little clip.
Mother, children of fishes, which we all know we are the children of fishes. As every organism started as a single cell organism in a body of water, later evolved into a beautiful human being. Yemoja, the mother, the nurturer, the cradle. Yemoja, and we use her in our everyday lives to feel nurtured, to always feel the love of a mother to this world. We ask Yemoja to keep us in her bosom, protected. Asha Iba Yemoja Akiyeyu.
Okay. So those of you that are not familiar, that is the Orisha known as Yemoja, the mother of us all, for motherly energy. But she is the mother of us all for a very important reason, as you person speaking is my Alagba, or spiritual leader of the Egungun Society. What he said was, as every person started as a single cell organism in a body of water, which later evolved into me and you. We know that this is a function of natural selection, that this is a function of evolution. So we now have an Ifa perspective of how they view evolution. So this is just driving home the point that Africans are not foreign to the evolutionary process, no matter what anybody tells you or what anybody believes. Africans have a concept of evolution. I'm sorry if that rubbed you the wrong way, but you deprogram yourself and start to know today in textbooks, labs, results, journals, an original thought of the Western world.
Sorry if it rubbed you the wrong way. Oh man. Feel like you still talking, man?
No, I wasn't talking.
Okay. I don't know why I can't find this. Man. Let's see. I wanted to give y'all a good source in that. God damn, man. All right. Okay. All right. God damn. Found it. God damn, boy. Well, we're going to tie this all the way back into scientific racism. Oh, man. Let's see. That's what I need. The American Journal of Physical Anthropology. The antibiotic tetracycline has been identified in human skeleton remains of Sudanese Nubians from the period of 350 to 550 CE. Mark Nelson, the American Journal of Physical Anthropology. It goes on to say, what's the big connection? Well, it can be conjectured that those ancient brewmasters deliberately used cereal grains infected with I think this is streptomyces, right? Bacterium that produce tetracycline to make their beer, both nourishing and medical. Reflecting on the fact that since the antibiotics were found in skeletons from dead people, one might wonder if the tetracycline actually worked. Or perhaps it did, but the quantities of beer that had to be consumed in order to deliver enough of these medicines were sufficient to cause death from other causes? Question mark. It all gets horribly complicated, and not wishing to add to the confusion caused by the different dating, let me see, abbreviations, the article itself. All right. Let me get to this. Hold on. 1 second. The person was critiquing the article. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Man, still not the one I wanted there. See, I know I'm on the National Library of Medical, U.S. National Library of Medical National Institute of Health. Oh man, hold on. Man. Nope, that's not it. God damn, man. Why is it so hard tonight for this? Anyway, the point I wanted to make was back to evolution, that the philosophical thought, the understanding of how things transform do not start with the Europeans, does not start with the Greeks. It starts with the African thinkers. So there's no getting around that, no getting up out of that. All right. I mean, that's just very, very clear right there. And some things just aren't up for debate. You know what I'm saying? Like at a certain point, you just can't debate. Those on the subject just ain't your equal with it. You just got to just teach them, and they accept it or they not. At least the people on the outskirts can actually, get the real information and go back and look it up for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even complicated. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the bell and subscribe to the channel. We're building the channel up. That way when we go live, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know, you know what I'm saying? We live. Okay. Yeah, I see you struggle zone. Yep. Give me a definition of what evolutionary struggle zone. What is it? I see you. How much of those sour should you buy for you get a discount? Go ahead and get 3 of them. You get a discount. I put a discount code for you. And make sure y'all support Abjuwear. Make sure y'all support Pantha Wear. Brother Ben got the Pantha Wear. Carry the Pantha Wear in the store. Support Abji wear. We got the new boots. We got the new sneakers. Got the new runners. We'll show them to y'all later on. Make sure y'all support that. I'm going to go into my bag of tricks real quick here, man. All right, now I was leading to, what I was really leading to was Darwin's book here. Now we talked about Al-Jaheed's book for a moment. Am I correct in that? And how he was talking about the variety of animals and plants. This is not a new idea, and I'm going to show y'all that because Darwin does the exact same thing, right? But he's credited with it, all right? So let me put this on here. Let me do this real fast. Hey, Niece, you sent that video?
No, I ain't sent no video on.
Oh, you gave him a break.
Giving him a break till next week.
All right, okay. So he got that break on sense.
It only falling out, man.
Hell no.
I see some people in the chat room don't understand the difference between a theory. Big theory. I encourage you to look up the difference.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same thing. You having a theory about where your baby mama is on Saturday because she ain't picking up the phone ain't the same thing as a scientific theory. I hate to break it to you.
Mm-hmm. So let me get this straight. Y'all see my presentation right there? Y'all see that to the screen?
Jedi.
Jedi in the lab. In the lab. Who is that guy? What is this guy doing here? Who is that guy? Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Sinjetti from the Amaral Squad. In the lab, right? Okay, doing his thing. Yeah, Amaral Squad up. In the lab with the joint on. Yeah. So, okay, enough showing off. This is what I want to show. Man, come on, man. I want to show you up, right here. Origin of the species by means of natural selection or the preservation of the favored races in the struggle for life. Do y'all see that?
Yep.
Now, for those pseudos that only thing they did was read the cover, right? They cracked the jokes. Well, what's the favorite racist, Unc? Charles Darwin was a race. He did that. I hate to tell y'all, right? But this book, this is the famous book that Charles Darwin wrote. This book is not even talking about humans. Not at all. So when you talk about the preservation of the favored races and the struggle for life. Charles Darwin, influential 1859 book on the origin of the species, did not discuss human origins. Ha! The extended wording on the title page, which adds by means of natural selection or the preservation of the favored races and the struggle for life, uses the general term races as an alternate for varieties. So he's talking about varieties there, family, and does not carry the modern connotation of human races. The first use in the book refers to the several races of instance of cabbage and proceeds to a discussion of the heredity of varieties or races of our domesticated animals and plants. Page 51. There y'all have it. Cut it out. Since the pseudo don't read anyway, you know what I'm saying? He just go on the internet and start clicking anyway. He wouldn't have known it. Anyway, here's a copy of the book. Yeah, this I promise you. Let me open it up. Pseudo, if the pseudo would have just looked at the damn pages, he would have known it was something different. See? It's the inside. It says the same thing. The origin of the species by means of natural selection or the preservation of the favored races and the struggle for life. Here you go. If you just go through the pages, all you see is birds and plants in here, y'all. Plants. The whole book, it's all you see. Animals. Same thing Al-Jahid did. We talked about that. Giraffes. Oh, that's that giraffe picture. Y'all remember that giraffe picture I showed you in Al-Jahid's work? Huh? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, I see you, Darwin. Huh. Yeah, I see you.
So
Yes,
he
I
ain't
do.
talking about no people.
No, it's not talking about no people.
You know, because people assume that Darwin is talking about people.
Because they don't understand chronological order.
Somebody say that in the chat room.
No, this conversation came about when I was trying to walk somebody through something to help them understand.
Man,
Man.
yeah.
You have to understand, after Charles Darwin left this earth, man, people was trashing his work. The whole monkey thing came from people that was inside of the church, and they was calling him monkey boy and all that other stuff. That was all after all. He was dead at that point. So people have to go back and look at the chronological order and see. But I guess that's too much. So, you know.
All right, let's read this. Let's read this. It say Darwin was speaking about people. This is in the chat room. This about warning good people. It says Darwin was speaking about people. It was a subtle message. Evolution believers will mislead people and say Darwin was only talking about animals.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Subliminal message. Okay. Well, all right. Well, in his work, it was a direct message in his book. So let's say he's right. Let's say that it was a subliminal message, right? That means he only wrote about animals to convey a message about humans. What Unc was saying, the only way that you study humans is you study the animals around humans.
Hey Ben, send us to Sister Naya. Send us link to Sister Naya. You gotta send it through the thing though. You know how to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, send it directly from here. Okay, let's say subtle, a subliminal, right? That's what D was doing. Let me tell y'all something. Darwin was very intelligent. See, Darwin already understood that there's no separation from the biology of anything. So he knew during that time he couldn't talk about humans. He already knew that. So all he did was talk about the variety of animals and plants. I know y'all think y'all different than the rest of the animals. I know. But I hate to say it, right? I hate to say it. The only way to really understand human beings is to study the animals around them. That's why they use chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are model species in understanding human behavior. I bet y'all didn't know that, did you? Hate to say it. I hate to say it, but it's a fact. It's factual. Okay? There's nothing a chimpanzee can't learn. I'm going to say this again, right? A chimpanzee can learn a very complex, do complex tasks, can add and all that with numbers, the whole 9 yards. As a matter of fact, the chimpanzees are in the Stone Age. Huh? Yes, chimpanzees are in the Stone Age. They are tool makers, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Bonobo chimps.
Huh?
Bonobo chimps makes stone tools.
There you go. So I'm just saying. I mean, I know everybody want to be different. So yeah, brother, you out your mind, yo. I wish yeah, you're a little bit out your mind there, bro. You're gone. You're gone. But anyway, he wasn't even writing about him. He was writing about. To say can study animals help stop the prison pipeline? Alan Brown.
Here comes the hijack artist, Alan Brown.
Yeah, there you go, Alan.
Always hijacking people's posts, talking about what you want to talk about.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go. Let's move on, man. We ain't got time for that tonight.
Let's read this. But Darwin wasn't a trained scientist. He was a theologian. Man, shut. No, he wasn't. What is
Leave
wrong with you?
alone.
If he would have known of cellular makeup of DNA quantum physics, he might have tossed the hypothesis into the trash. All right. All righty, buddy. Yeah. I'm not going to call
And
you
how
dumb
come
because I
the
haven't seen you
quantum
before.
physicists of this day haven't thrown this theory into the trash? Huh? How come Neil deGrasse Tyson ain't did it?
Darius. Come on, son.
Some of
Come
y'all
on,
is just
son. Stop it.
behind the power curve.
Yeah, you behind the power curve, yo. You getting ran over by the wave, dude.
You are a hijack artist, Alan. You know you are. We be talking about the sun. He be like, well, how's the sun gonna help us get from white supremacy? We talking about the sun. That's why. You always just divert things to what you want to talk about. Nobody's talking about that. If you want to have a show about the prison pipeline, then do a show on the prison pipeline. We talking about evolution. We talking about science right now, brother. Do your own show.
One of the trained scientists. He was a damn train. He went to school for. What is wrong with these people, man? Like, is they serious? Like, he was going to medical school. Then he decided to become a scientist. Like, what is, like, come on, man. He was going to be a surgeon, yo, and he changed his mind, man. Like, do people be serious with that? It's crazy, man. People just say anything. Where do they get it from?
I don't know. I just want to drive home the point that scientific racism is a misnomer.
Yep. Ankh said, study animals. Yep, to learn human behavior. Absolutely, I said that. I don't know how it goes with your statement. I don't get it. No. Last time I checked, the humans are the only animals that create jails, bro. So that's exclusive to the Homo sapiens sapien. Let me tell you this. So all behaviors exhibited by different animals aren't Homo sapiens sapien. I'm gonna say this again: that all the behaviors that Homo sapiens sapiens exhibit, right? All the behaviors don't necessarily you can't necessarily find in other animals. There's some things that humans and only humans do exclusively, whether it's good or bad, like copulating with different women for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Only humans do that, copulating with, different male and female for no reason.
Cooking meat,
huh?
Cooking meat.
I couldn't hear
Yeah,
you.
we don't people cook meat. Yeah, that's it.
I think the only species that cook meat.
Yep, cooking meat. Yep, they're exclusive behaviors. You know what I'm saying?
All the meat, the hair, the nails, everything. We cook it.
Yep, but there's just certain behaviors that other animals just don't do. So there are certain things that are just exclusive to Homo sapiens sapiens, good, bad, or indifferent. Yes, it is. And making up the prison system is one of them. So no, you can't study another animal to figure out why a nigga lock another nigga up. No. Goodness gracious, boy. So I mean, but I kind of get it though, man. I get it. I get that. But we're back on scientific racism again. Huh?
No, I was saying that is in my book too, dealing with that.
Oh, you on top of it then?
Yeah.
You all the way on top of it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you all the way in. Like to see that.
Sorry, Motep in the building.
Brother Saw.
He in the chat room. He said monkeys make gumbo though. Oh my goodness. Boy, that issue come out of us all, boy. I'm not doing this with him tonight.
All right. So let's deal with the issue of Piltdown Man real fast. This is during this time of scientific racism, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me show my screen. Watch this. Get right to it. Onto the screen.
Yep.
Let me play this clip.
which challenge the existence of God. So we see that atheism, population control, and the evolution theory, the falsification of archaeological evidence, all is centered around these motherfuckers that connected with the Royal Society, using Darwin as a front man to push the theory of evolution.
Oh, that's a saw back there. How saw
That's
that?
checkmate right there. That's the 100th checkmate. You know what I'm saying? This is a little more information on here to the uncharted, because not only that he was responsible for the Piltdown Man hoax, right? Because he was the paleontologist. The paleontologist is the person. Remember they made Richard Dawkins for like being responsible. But when you look at his definition of paleontologist, it's a scientist that studies the fossils. He the one that gave the false information that these fossils were legit. It was him. He was the paleontologist that said that these fossils were legit when it was actually a forgery. And it took 40 years for them to find that shit out. So all the peer reviews, all the first-hand information that your boy Ankh had, you know, and his Amin Roswell used, they would have been using that shit. If they was living back then, they would have been using that shit. For 40 years. Your boy Wujaru, he'd have been quoting from that information. Because they have a higher ambition. Our culture. What is our culture?
All right. So let's see what information the Amaral Squad of Saul Tep, Rut Wuja, Ankh, Brother Ben, Sister Naya, Brother Nahisi. Let's see what information we would have been using. Naya. You know what I'm saying? Dot me out. What information would we be using? Let's read this right here. In 1912, the amateur archaeologist Charles Dawson, he was the amateur, right, which does not take away from him at all, claimed that he had discovered the missing link between ape and man. Scientists do not like using the term missing link. Everything is a missing link in evolutionary history. After finding a section of a human-like skull, the Paleocene grave beds near Piltdown, East Saxon, Dawson contacted Arthur Smith Woodward, keeper of the geology at the Natural History Museum. Dawson and Smith Woodward discovered more bones and artifacts at the site, which they connected to the same individual. These individuals, this included a jawbone, more skull fragments, set of teeth, and primitive tools, right? This is actually just a drawing of it. All right, you see they connected the skull, right, and the mantle, which is really a jawbone, right? All right, now let me show you what we would have been using. Y'all heard what he said, all right? Y'all heard what the pseudo said, right? He said, we would have been using this information. I'm going to show you the information we would have been using. This is so easy. Man. All righty. I get to come on. This is the information we would have been using in 1913, ladies and gentlemen, right here from the Journal of Nature. So in 1913, the Amaral Squad would have been doing the same damn thing they're doing right now, reading from the Journal of Nature. What did the Journal of Nature say during the exact same time that they put together Piltdown Man? Let's go straight to the conclusion. It said, in conclusion, I should like to say how much I am indebted to Professor Keith for all the help he has given me in the investigation, not only by allowing me to make use of all valuable material in the Museum of the Royal College of Surgeons, but also by discussing with me frankly and openly all points in dispute concerning the Piltdown Man skull itself. It says, in the early part of July, working with the cranial case, it seemed to me to have established a good case for his mode of reconstruction. But, hit him with the but from the moment I began to examine the actual fragments, August 13, 1913, the day after the discussion of the matter at the International Medical Congress, I became convinced that this solution of the problem was an impossible one. So he's talking about the way they reconstructed the Piltdown Man, the jawbone and the skull together. This particular scientist said, I'm saying that's impossible to do. He goes on to say, it was this personal experience of the importance working with the real things, right, that I had in mind when I was writing my last letter in the Journal of Nature, October 30th, on page 267. Elliot Smith, University of Manchester. Piltdown Mandel, that's the jawbone. Watch this. In the British Journal of Dental Science, we would have been reading that during that time, October the 1st. There are published some excellent radiograms, right, of the Piltdown Mandel and of the chimpanzees. The views having been taken from the side and from the above. It say, in order to compare the outlines of the two specimens, right, I have superimposed tracings taken from each. Figure 1 and figure 2. Do y'all not see this? The one with the trace dotted line, you got the one underneath that. And he's putting them together. All right. This is the outline tracing of the radiograms of the Piltdown Mandel. Continuous line, and say, and of the mandel of the chimpanzee. Broken line. So the chimpanzee is the broken line, and the solid line is from the quote unquote Piltdown find. See how they fit together too well, right? Watch this. Similarly, of the specimens brought out in this way is very striking. He says very, very interesting how that jaw from that quote unquote ape-like man is starting to look like a chimpanzee jaw. Very striking. From the outlines are particularly identical. I have also superimposed tracings of the last reconstruction of the Piltdown Mandel and of the jaw of a young chimpanzee. And again, the similarity of the outline is very remarkable. No human mandel is a jaw, is known which shows anything like the same resemblance to a chimpanzee's jaw in the outline and in all its detail. What he's saying is, ain't nowhere in the world, if that jaw that was on the Piltdown Man was a human, would it have matched up with this chimpanzee jaw? That's what he's saying. See, this is the information Umbrella Squad would have been reading. Watch this. Of the molar teeth, I need only to say here that not only do they approach the ape form, but in several respects are identical with them. Oh boy, he's smelling a rat. The cranial fragments of the Piltdown skull, right, on the other hand, are in particularly all their details, right, essentially human. If that be so, it seems to me to be as inconsequent. Well, I misspelled said that word, misspoke that word. I said it all wrong yesterday. Yeah, in consequence, to refer the mandel, the mandel and the cranium to the same individual as it would be to articulate a chimpanzee's foot with the bones of an essentially human thigh and leg. What he's saying is that the Piltdown find, that don't make no sense. To put those two items together, the jawbone and the cranium. He said that'd be like taking a chimpanzee foot, putting it on a human. No, that'd be like putting a chimpanzee foot, right, on the bones of a human thigh and leg. He said that don't make no sense. So this is the information that the Umbrella Squad would have been reading back in 1913, because that's when they supposedly found the damn find in 1913. So these pseudo fools are out of their minds. Stop it.
You know, and this drives home what I was saying earlier, that they were not practicing science, because when the real scientists get in the room and start doing their checks, it's easy to spot the pseudo. He started doing his checks on the mandible bone, and he was like, hey, something is wrong. This is off. That's the great thing about science. Anybody can come behind you and test your work. No matter if it's published, unpublished, anybody can come behind you and say, well, what was your method? Let me see if I get the same thing. Science welcomes skeptics. Like, please, okay, if you're skeptical, this is what I did. See if you can recreate it. And guess what? He couldn't do it, because something is off with the mandible bone. It's simple. These people were not practicing science. They were just spewing out opinions, trying to connect things that wasn't there for their own bias agenda. When you come into something with a preconceived notion, you have a tendency to do that. That's why they say, let go of all your bias in research. Let go, let it go.
Let it go. So we see here, Sean, I put that article in the group. You can put it out there so everybody can read that. This is the stuff the Umbrella Squad would have been reading back in 1913, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know you slick. I know all that. I know you think you got it together. Yada, yada, yada. You just talking. With no documentation to back it up. You just talking. You putting stuff together with your own mind. That's what you're doing. Right? So back in 1913, when they discovered the Piltdown find, you had scientists that was right off the rip saying, that's dumb. You know what I'm saying, man? Everybody don't make sense.
Nah, that ain't
gonna. Nah. And so, yeah, it did take 40 years for them to come out officially and say it was a fraud. It did do that. Yes, it did.
But it was scientists right off the rip going, son, I'm not fooled.
Would what happened in Flint be scientific racism? What?
The water?
No, man. No.
It's more like management of government funds to fix a problem that they knew it was a problem for a long time. That's mismanagement, man. That's little to do with science and more to do with business and economic different things in economics, man. They knew they had that problem a long time, and they just waited and watched it break down. They should have brought some scientists in there to fix their problem.
Facts.
It's like if I know I sold you a car with a bad carburetor, and I'm just waiting for it to break down so you could complain about it. There's nothing about that that's scientific racism. I just showed you a bad product, a product that I knew was going bad because of the wear and tear, but I didn't care. That's what the people in Flint have to endure right now. It's not cool that they are, but
that's the government problem right there. That's the racist ass government problem. Not taking
city got to fix that, man.
Yeah, it's a fact right there, man. That's an absolute fact. So here's the interesting part. That during the time when they was practicing scientific racism, when Adolf Hitler Adolf Hitler was crazy. They literally murdered the poor people. They murdered the people who didn't have jobs. They murdered the Jewish community. You know what I'm saying? They murdered black people. They put them in ovens, right? Basing that off of eugenics and basing that off of Darwin's theory of natural selection. Yeah, they did that. That's exactly what they did. They did that. And everybody can clearly see that. Clearly see that's what they did. But when, watch this, when Jesse Owens came over there and beat the brakes off of him, you feel me? Then they knew all they thought that science they thought they had was just
that master race thing went out the window.
Straight out the window, yo. He straight beat the brakes off. And it showed that what they had wasn't science, it was pseudoscience. I mean, Hitler didn't know. Hitler's sitting there looking crazy as hell. So anybody in the chat room, get what I'm saying, yo.
I knew I would have got shot that day because I've been laughing so loud.
Dude, that was crazy. They was sitting, yo, imagine that. They got the science behind them. Black man is a monkey. Black man is inferior. We working on our eugenics program. We working on our gene. And how we doing that? They said, Hitler said like this. Jesse Owens. Matter of fact, Jesse Owens got on a pair of damn Adidas. That's the first time, right, that Adidas actually had an athlete for marketing. You hear me? And when Jesse Owens with all them damn gold medals, damn Adidas sold 100,000 pair of shoes every day from that moment. Interesting. Adidas was part of the third rank. They was from Germany. Two brothers. Both belongs to the third rank. Look it up. Google it. All right? Brothers split off. One formed
Puma.
Let me see what company he's
I think it was Puma.
Puma. Facts. Yep. So enough of that scientific racism. You know what I'm saying? That human being destroyed those myths right there. And when the theory of evolution, right, or the theory, no, really, I'm telling you, he was dealing with the theory of natural selection. It's right here, yo. Natural selection by means of natural selection. So you were talking about damn natural selection. All right. And they and them fools pseudorized it, messed it all up. The same way they be doing today. As a matter of fact, watch this. The pseudos in our community, they do the exact same thing. They do the exact same thing. White people come from some other place. Check. Right? Theory of evolution is against God. Check. Said that. What else they say? Shit. Evolution ain't real. Check. Go ahead. What was you gonna say?
They say things like we the master race.
Yeah, we a master race. It's our melanin. Check. We superheroes with our melanin. Check. So y'all sound just like they sounded in Nazi Germany. Y'all sound just like they sounded in Harvard and Yale when they used to teach this stuff. Y'all sound just like that. Man, I find that very, 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 very
and let me clear this up because I see this in the chat room and I always see this, and this isn't true either. Well, they don't have melanin. Yes, they do.
I hate to say it.
Just a different type than yours. You have yours. They have failed melanin. You block a certain type of sun rays, they block another certain type of sun rays. They even have low amounts of your melanin if you look on the end of their extremities, just like we have low amounts of failed melanin if you look on the ends of our extremities. So study what melanin is, man.
You won't do it.
Has melanin. Plants have melanin. The only people I can think about that do not have melanin are albinos. That's why they're totally chalky white complexion melanin, because everybody has neuromelanin because it's in your brain. So
yep, all humans got neuromelanin.
They have it, you know, but they just don't have it in their skin. They don't have an element that reacts with tyrosine to make a color.
You melanin, theomelanin. You melanin, theomelanin. One is red, one is brown. Y'all crazy. That's my point. You got people in the community that claim to wrote a whole encyclopedia on melanin, and the white man is this, but yeah, use the white man's word called melanin. It's a Greek word, melanin. Y'all crazy. Right? No whole encyclopedia on melanin. Get out of here with that. Ali Muhammad.
Then they tell you, some people in our community, I ain't gonna call no names, They tell you melanin and melatonin is the same.
Oh yeah. Call them out. Call them out.
I ain't gonna.
I know y'all heard it too. The pineal gland and the
God.
melanin.
Yeah.
Serotonin.
Pineal gland. Hey man, the only thing, if you have a calcified pineal gland, you probably don't sleep a lot.
Yep.
That's it.
And you can find scientific articles on that. Black people do have calcified pineal glands. Y'all crazy, yo.
We don't. They claim we don't get them.
Yeah, only white people. It's part of the scientific racism. That's the point, though. The people that's fighting against this is really part of scientific racism.
The people that fight have joined the racism. They don't know it.
Oh, man.
Stop reading these books. Hey, look. I got to say it because I don't mean to demean these brothers or elders, but their work is just not scientific. Stop reading Layla Africa.
Stop it.
Stop reading Carol Barnes.
Stop it.
Stop it. I mean, it's just not based on anything. The superhero theory. That's what I call it, the superhero theory. Because they believe that just because you got melanin and you black, that means that you somehow are more smarter, bigger, faster, stronger than everybody else. When we all know that is not the case. That's not what makes you like that. That's not it. Ankh got a great presentation on the black breeding farms that gives a perspective on some of those affinities. But it's not just because you got melanin. I've traveled to places that people are darker than me, darker than Ankh, darker than anybody on this planet, and guess what? They're not African. Do they have powers too? No. Come on, man. Like, y'all got to stop it, man. Y'all got to get into real studies that do this for a living, man. Because I hate to say it, but some of us in this community that we call the woke community, conscious community, whatever we call it, are just in front of that camera for the hustle and the well-being of their families. That's all they're trying to do. They're trying to take care of their families. They want you to come to an election. They want you to buy a book. They want you to buy they detox program or whatever. And it's not based on anything factual. It's the placebo method. I'm sorry. This is where we at right now. This is where we at. That's why I don't ask for $1 from y'all. I don't do this for money. I do this because we're in the community and we dying from lack of knowledge, and we just reading the wrong books. Brother Nahisi Facebook page where he said, I believe my people, but they reading the wrong books. I think it's a little bit of a twofold problem. Some of us don't want to read in the wrong books. Check the references. Always check the sources. Where did he get this from? Is there anybody else that agrees with him? Check it. I don't want y'all to go down the wrong path and get sold a bill of goods, man, and don't get the results that you were looking for, and you didn't pay somebody $99 for something that you thought was gonna trim your body up or make you stronger or make you more spiritual or whatever they promised you, and you don't get it. I'm tired of my people getting scammed. Trust me, I've been scammed too. Trust me. Everybody's telling you the truth, and they are not. They're not. Appreciate that, King Shu. We always appreciate this support. We do this, man. We do this because we want to see positive, effective change in our communities. We want people to get back into their African culture. We want people to become scientifically literate. We want people to go out into the communities and create things to solve the problems that we have. A brother mentioned Flint earlier. If we raise the scientific literacy in our community, maybe somebody can go over there and solve that problem for them brothers that's got that water, that brown water problem. Only thing they can solve that is science. We can't pray it away. We can't wish it away. We can't. It's there. It's a problem. Only thing we need to get some engineers and some people and some water treatment specialists to go over there and fix that problem. So unfortunately, that that's how we got to do it. So this is why we do this, man. This is why we go out in the community. This is why we're going to be at the Black Dot Center on the 25th, giving y'all this information, because we want to see positive, effective change in the community. We're not just on YouTube and Facebook and Patreon and all this stuff, just talking, man. Dude, this is something we do for free right here. We're going to be out. And hey, if y'all want us in y'all communities, contact us. Contact us and we'll come out to your community and give a lecture. We'll come out to your community and speak to people. We'll come out to your community and build those bridges.
That's right.
Because that's what we're in it for.
Yo, did you send that thing to Naya?
I did.
You sent it through the through this, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's a fact, man. Hey, make sure y'all subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like button. The bell so you can catch notifications when we go live. All right, we're trying to get this thing down on routine now. All right. Important. So let's hear some more of the foolery real fast. Just real fast. Let's see. All right, so we killed him with that. Man, what the hell I do with the? Well, I tell you. All right. All right, let's see. Let me show you. They was laughing and joking and kikiing. All right, you go.
And the number one agenda is to take you away from God, because listen, y'all, that is what natural law is based upon. You can't take no freedom without a creator. That's helter-skelter, because there's no basis for your freedom. The mighty rule, that's it in the kingdom. That right there. If they take the creator away, the concept of a God, they can take your freedom away.
Okay.
What?
Let's discuss.
Time out. What?
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. It's the pseudos in the damn community. Hey, everybody quiet. I'm going to play this again. We're going to discuss this. Let me show you. Let's go.
And the number one agenda is to take you away from God, because listen, y'all, that is what natural law is based upon. You can't take no freedom without a creator. That's helter-skelter, because there's no basis for your freedom. The mighty rule, that's it in the kingdom. That's right there. If they take the creator away, the concept of a God, they can take your freedom away. You know what I'm saying? What gives you the right to be here? It ain't no God. That's what the real birthright is. When people say you're born free, okay? It's based upon the creator giving everybody. But on a much deeper level, though, right? On a much deeper level, that's why they're trying to promote this whole designer-based and artificial creation. Because if they could now, because it's already been passed to the court that they could own genes if they are genetically modified. If they have somehow genetically modified your genes, that they can own that gene. So now all of a sudden you see the rise of autism, and they're connecting autism with certain injections that the baby is taking at birth that they require, right? So what they're trying to do is create an environment where they're going to make natural birth almost like detrimental to humanity. And we have to really go in, if you really want to be 100% sure that your baby is healthy, you first got to get genetic counseling on the analyze the genes to see if they have any characteristics that's going to create birth defects.
Okay, let's stop right there. Let's discuss this, right? Let's start from the first point here. This is important. Them two dudes, they're not Muslim, they're not Christians, and they're not Jews. They do not practice traditional African spiritual systems. None of them two dudes. So now at this point, I'm trying to figure out what in the hell creators they talking about. What culture is they created linked to? What book? What body of wisdom? What customs? What traditions is their creator, you know what I'm saying, is giving them freedom connected to? So there is no freedom without a creator. Huh?
There's no creator without a culture. What culture are we talking about? Who are we talking about?
Right. What in the hell's going on, y'all? This is
They're making this up.
They making this up as they go on. Be careful, family, with people who make points that don't get past the hypothesis stage. Meaning they didn't prove anything. You hear them say what they trying to do is, and what they want to create is, and they want to do it in vibe. Where's the proof of this? Or are you just speculating? Because that's what you think. And then they do the attack on the vaccine. Look, all vaccines are not bad for you. I'm tired of people saying it. Let's address it. You have to study the individual vaccines to see which ones are harmful and which ones are not. Because guess what? Science doesn't get it right all the time, right? Sometimes science messed up, just like you done messed up at your job before. So they may have put out a vaccine that didn't hurt some people. But guess what? There's been more vaccines that didn't help people than hurt them. I'm going to tell you a personal story of mine. I ate some bad pizza in Egypt. This pizza almost put me out of here. I ain't going to lie to you. On my deathbed, I was messed up, throwing up, everything. The whole 9 yards, head hurting all day, hot, chills, cold, everything. The doctor came on shots. Wasn't for them shots, family. I don't know if I would have been. I'll be quite honest with you. They gave me 4 shots, and I was back to normal. We are attacking something we created. We already just showed you the article. We created the antibiotics. What you think is in some of these shots? Antibiotics. Something we already was doing. Penicillin. You can get a penicillin shot. Am I correct? Yes, you can. They will give you a penicillin shot. I hate to keep using this example, but if you hit a young lady and things don't go exactly right, they will give you a penicillin shot to take care of whatever you need to take care of. So because everybody that's had any type of STD and had to get that shot and it cured you, you didn't say anything about vaccines then. So it's clearly not all vaccines.
Well, that's not a vaccine. That's just shots. A vaccine is things you get to stop certain diseases and stuff. You get vaccinated where you take a portion of the disease and
Right.
I mean, in small amounts. As a matter of fact, when you study the history of vaccines real fast, study the history of vaccines, Europeans wouldn't go for it. They were pseudoed up on it. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't want it.
Yeah, they couldn't even give their own people the vaccine, so they went to India. Right? And they went to these villages where people were sick, dying from certain diseases, and they gave them the vaccine. The people didn't want this shit. The people like, we don't trust y'all, we don't want that. But you know what I'm saying? Hell, what could they do? They took the vaccines. Before you know it, the village starting to get healthy again. And so you don't have to vaccinate everybody, right? But a certain percentage of the population has to be vaccinated to keep the spread of whatever the polio, you know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff that's not even really occurring.
Hepatitis, varicella.
Right. So you need to do that. And so like Ben said, some people can't handle the ingredients in the vaccines. So all humans aren't the same. You got like certain people can't eat certain foods. Right. That don't mean the damn food was bad. That means you are allergic to that food. That's why when you go to the hospital, they ask you, what are you allergic to? Sulfur, such. So a lot of adverse effects be coming from the different things that they put inside of the vaccines. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not allergic to it though. So we got to stop this, because this is what I'm gonna tell you. If we was to build a Black, real conscious community, listen to what I'm telling you, and use all the pseudoisms, right, that people use, we'd be dead in a year, y'all. There won't be no hospital.
I'll tell you something else, huh? For everybody that wants to go back to Africa and go see, where you're from. If you took a DNA test, you find out where you're from. You want to go to Africa. You want to see the slave dungeons and party in the village and everything like that. You ain't going there without
no shots, right?
I hate to break it to you, but especially where we are draw our DNA from, most people in the African diaspora, West Africa, you're going to have to get a yellow fever shot. I hate to break it to you. They're not letting you in the country without it. They're not letting you in the country without it. You will get there, and matter of fact, you can't even apply for the visa to come in the country without proof that you got that yellow.
Yeah, why is yellow fever, right?
It's yellow fever because yellow fever is an issue over there. And what happens is a lot of Europeans came over there with yellow fever. So they had to start making that shot mandatory.
Mm.
Oh no, you can get an American passport without a yellow fever shot. And if you want to get an African passport, no, you ain't get one without that yellow fever. And they not playing with you either. They is not letting you in the country. And as of this year, even more countries have demanded that yellow fever shot. We talking about South American countries as well. So all y'all that want to travel out the country to these exotic spots, guess what?
You're gonna have to get some shots, bro.
You're gonna have to go see the man with the needle. And I'm gonna tell you what, don't play with your health, people. Don't play with your health. Get the yellow fever shot, get the malaria pills, because you do not want to contract malaria in Africa. You do not want to do it. We lost one of our greatest scholars to that, Asa Hilliard. That's how he died.
Oh, is it?
That's how he died.
Dang.
Malaria in Africa. My godfather in Ifa, he contracted malaria this year, and he was down. You hear me? I'm talking about all the way down. He had to recover, take the antibiotics, and get better. Don't play with your life, people.
Okay, so let's do this real quick, Ben, since you bring up the topic. I'll say, so we address that. All of a sudden, right, if you don't got a God, you can't be free. All right, that's a bunch of malarkey. All right?
When we start worshiping their God, when we became hell.
Right. So here we go right here. We got Nature Magazine. All right. July 26, 2018. Here you go. What does it say?
Malaria bites back.
Oh. Okay.
What I tell you, I didn't even know that existed.
Watch this. The race to stop the killer in Southeast Asia before drug resistance spreads. So like I said, if we was to actually get enough money and get the conscious community together with all their thoughts and ideologies and put them on some land in Africa, y'all be dead in a year. Wouldn't have no science, right? Y'all gonna string the Amaral squad up, first of all. It's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like Christian Europe, where they was killing the scientists and shit, right? Y'all gonna string us up, right? Y'all not gonna have no science, all right? Y'all gonna be having all Dr. Africa books, right? Y'all gonna have all the type of quote unquote healing stuff. Y'all gonna have all that. Y'all not gonna have no vaccines. Y'all not gonna have none of that. Y'all gonna be dead in a year. I promise you that.
You see what I got?
Yeah.
You see what I got? I'm not playing with my health and my family's health. Y'all go play with your family health if you want to.
Man,
I got 75 tablets of Progunol and Primaquine. I'm not playing because I'm going to West Africa. I frequently visit West Africa. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not going down to no mosquito with malaria on it. Ain't gonna happen. Mm-mm.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you, y'all.
And get your pills. Get your shot.
Look, y'all won't have no clean drinking water. Your medicine ain't gonna work because your herbs gonna start working because whatever disease you got gonna mutate and the herb ain't gonna work no more. Your medicine is not evolutionary minded. Yo, you're done. Y'all just absolutely done.
To answer that brother's question, he asked, is malaria mutating?
Yes,
brother. All diseases mutate. All of them.
Hey, it says it right here. It says the race to stop a killer in Southeast Asia before the drug resistance spreads.
Mm.
So now they have forms of malaria that are resistant to the drugs that has been keeping it at bay for years. Okay, so it has mutated. So while y'all not believing, while Stolamine and Pseudo and Lex Pseudo is talking about evolution ain't real, nature is killing you with evolution.
That is evolution. I hate the people, but when you try to cure a disease with the same medicine and one day it don't, it evolved.
It evolved.
That's what happens, and that's what happened with penicillin during the war. I believe World War. They were sticking guys with penicillin. One day it didn't work. The disease evolved. That's why they tell you get the flu shot every year.
Let me see.
Nature gives everything a mechanism to fight back. Everything. From the animals to the plants, everything. They have a resistance mechanism. Even diseases, even organisms. So you will find yourself on the wrong end. You keep taking that aspirin, and one day it ain't gonna work. That's just nature. That's evolution.
Let me read this. In this article that I'm reading in the Journal of Nature magazine, it says the rise of resistance. It says Southeast Asia has served as a launch pad for drug-resistant malaria multiple times. It says with disastrous consequences. It says in the 50s, in the 1950s, Cambodian authorities reported that trellisine, the main cure for malaria at the time, had stopped clearing some infections. Within 3 decades, claricine-resistant strands had spread to Africa. So the shit spread all the way to Africa. Resistant strands of malaria. Malaria needs a host. It needs a human host, and it needs a mosquito, right? It lives in humans, and it lives in mosquitoes, and it's transferred through mosquitoes. It mutates. The medicines that work one time might not work again because it had mutate. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your evidence for evolution, and none of them niggas can get past this. They're just gonna talk. They're not gonna be able to prove it. They're just not. So like I'm saying, your medicine has to be evolutionary minded. You will be dead in less than a year. If we were to take a colony of African Americans, conscious community people, they're gonna have all kind of, and they're gonna like the incense. They're gonna have the chakras going. They're gonna have, what else they gonna have? They're gonna be the pseudo. They don't know real traditional African medicine. Let's get this straight, Ben. I'm gonna say this again. None of the conscious community, you know what I'm saying, for real, understands traditional African medicine. So they're not gonna go over there with that. They're gonna have all kinds of stuff. They're gonna have I ain't gonna talk about Bobby. They're gonna have all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you now, everybody gonna have a different formulas. Y'all gonna be in the middle of the forest. The mosquitoes gonna bite you one time. Y'all don't deal with the white man medicine. Y'all gonna be dead in a week.
The tsetse fly gonna kill them in a couple of days.
A fly. White man gonna say, can we help y'all? No, we don't need white man help. Y'all gonna be dropping like fleas. I'm just telling you, this shit is funny to me, dog. So go ahead and make a presentation. I'm a raw squad, yada, 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 hotta, yada. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I got a question. I would like to know, are they reading any books on the said subject that they are introducing this foolishness to their listening audience? I mean, what books? Uh, how well versed are they in this literature? What articles can they present to back any of that stuff that we just heard in that video clip you played?
Oh,
Brother Sean, let me explain to you how I know they're not reading no books. Because there are not a lot of books on this subject that are not under $400. There are a lot of books on this subject, but they're very, 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 very expensive. So the route to go is to get the articles. So you got to have subscriptions. Journal of Nature, Scientific America, Journal of Anthropology. All of journals are the best route to go. And we know they ain't got subscriptions. We know they ain't got the subscriptions. You know that they didn't get the books. YouTube and Google ain't gonna help you on this one. I'm sorry, it's not. I mean, I just heard that explanation about pill down, man. I just cringe, man, because
yeah.
Wow, man, that's awful. But you got to get the subscription to stay on your research, to stay on the latest research that is coming out. National Geographic, all of these publications people put out, and they cost money. Don't get me wrong, they cost money, but it's worth investing in your knowledge. It's worth investing in your tool of trade. If your tool of trade is knowledge, you have to keep your tool sharp. So keeping it sharp, you got to get the most up-to-date information that comes out. Vet it. Look at the sources. Is it plausible? Is it feasible? And then you disseminate it to the community as you see fit. But
So
to answer your question,
they're talking about sharp. Yo, let's
doing a
pause.
literature review. We're not doing a literature review.
Let's pause for a minute here. This show is brought to you by Abjuwear and Pantha Wear. The new joints here on the site. Sean, you can post that link for me again. Man, coming straight from the gas line. All right. Straight from the gas line. Y'all know a traditional African map on that. You know what I'm saying? Bam. These joints tight. All day. All day. Yep. There you go. Y'all go right to the site. All right. Pick them up.
Dope right there.
Yeah, they are. So we're crazy. I just want to let everybody on the panel know that we are the crazy ones. But can you please again, can you go back and play that video one more time? I just want to see it. I'm crazy.
In the middle of a commercial break.
In the video.
In the middle of a commercial break. Where your shoes at, Ben? You can't come in on the commercial break. Our sponsors are paying for this. They want their time. Yes, sir. We got a $300 million marketing budget here, yo. You know what I'm saying, yo? $300 million. Hey, that's what I'm talking about right here, though. I don't care what nobody say. Now, these joints is tight. Everybody talking crazy. Yes, indeed. This is my favorite one right here. The boots.
That's because you from up north.
Huh?
That's because you from up north. That's why you like them.
Yeah, you don't like boots? You don't like boots, Ben?
I ain't got no use for that. I live in Atlanta, Georgia.
It get cold, no? What you talking about? We wear boots in Atlanta? Are you serious?
I don't. For what?
Okay. All right. You ain't got no sense there. I can't. No, these ain't snow boots, yo. Yo, you can mess these up some. I'm telling you, don't put them in no snow, son. They're a little bit too fresh. Don't do it. Nah, don't do snow. Yeah, so this is what it is, man. All right, here you go. Go to abjuwear.com. That's abdjuwear.com. All right, here you go. And then we got the black. I left the black ones in the store. I only got the black ones, right? And let me show these. Lucille Parks, the Abjuws.
That's my favorite ones right there. Oh, matter of fact, mine right here.
Yeah, they kind of slick. They're a little slick. They're a little bit slick.
My favorite ones right here, boy.
A little slick. A little bit slick. Yeah, I like these in the Panther wears though. I ain't gonna lie, the Panther wears kind of slick too.
Yeah, you
got a pair. I got a pair. You got a pair, Ben? Where yours at? You got some?
No, I got a pair.
Break them out. People can see.
Hold on.
So yeah, man, go ahead and support that, man. I'm gonna put the link up in the thing. It's important. So yeah, we're gonna go back to that video. Yes, we are. Which part you want me to play, yo?
Please play from the beginning because I was just told that I was crazy, and I just want to make sure that I'm not crazy.
Downstairs. Of course we crazy, man.
All right, let's play it. You got it, Ben? You want to show him real quick?
Downstairs. I'll get him later.
All right. Okay, so we crazy, right? Let's play it again. Let's do it. See, gray skies are blue. What a beautiful day. Here we go.
They haven't even conceived the deception of it. And the number one agenda is to take you away from God because, listen, bro, that is what natural law is based upon. You can't get no freedom without a creator. That's helter-skelter because there's no basis for your freedom. The mighty rule, that's in the kingdom. That's right there. If they take the creator away, the concept of a God, they can take your freedom away. You know what I'm saying? What gives you the right to be here? If it ain't no God. That's what the real birthright is. When people say you're born free. Okay? It's based upon the creator giving everybody. But on a much deeper level, though, right? On a much deeper level, that's why they're trying to promote this whole designer babies and artificial creation. Because if they could now, because it's already been passed to work that they could own genes if they are genetically modified. If they had somehow genetically modified your genes, that they could own that gene. So now all of a sudden you're seeing the rise of autism, and they're connecting autism with certain injections that the baby is taking at birth that they require, right? So what they're trying to do is create an environment where they're going to make natural birth almost like it's like detrimental to humanity. And we have to really go in, if you really want to be 100% sure that your baby is healthy, you first got to get genetic counseling on the analyze the gene to see if they have any characteristics that's going to create birth defects. That's them altering your gene. And once they alter it, they own that shit.
All right. So, next point. How can you say, now this is the ignorance of men. How can you say, in one hand, that evolution is not real? Then out your mouth say that white people can alter genes and can select certain genes. You know what I'm saying? How? How? You can't say that, family. I'm going to say this real slow for y'all who just don't want to get it. You can't say on one hand that natural selection, right, ain't real and Charles Darwin was crazy. It wasn't real. But yet, in the other hand, talk about artificial selection when Europeans select certain genes, you know what I'm saying, and certain traits. You know what I'm saying? When people go, they want to have babies, right? And they want to make sure, you know what I'm saying, that certain traits aren't there in the baby and they pick them out. Man, that's called artificial selection, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say that. Because essentially watch this. Look, the result of artificial selection is evolution. The result of natural selection is evolution, right? We talk about the gray wolf. All living canines today extend from the gray wolf, except for the African wild dogs. They're not in that genome. But everything else extends from the gray wolf, and it's called artificial selection. You know what I'm saying? My next slide talks about that, the corn. We talk about the mustard seed plant. right? Through artificial selection, human beings selected traits. You know what I'm saying? Right around the Hisi. Where you at?
All right.
You hear me?
What you say now?
I said, you heard the clip, right?
I couldn't really understand it, but go ahead.
They was basically saying that, you know, white people can pick out certain traits, you know what I'm saying? They have a healthy baby, certain pick designer babies and all that. Man, come on, man. That's selecting traits. So you can't say that and just say evolution ain't real. Right or wrong, Easy? Explain that to us.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, how can you how they learning that? What was their example for them to pick out them traits? Somebody had to go study it. They just didn't guesswork it. They saw what nature was doing.
Mm-mm-mm. 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 Mm. It's bananas. You feel me, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. You know, I get it though. Like they never talk about how we was domesticated though, huh? Through selective breeding. Remember I did that lecture, yo? We'll break that
Like
out.
breed.
Yeah, they did that to us, man. They selected the traits that was more favorable. You know what I'm saying? For us to go ahead and act the way we acting right now. It's funny. Let me stop. But there you go. Right?
I'm about to get off here.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I see certain people in the chat room. Let me get out of here, man. Anyway, at the end of the day, the real point is, the real serious point is that Darwin could very well have been a racist. Adolf Hitler could have very well used evolution to put people in the oven. But at the end of the day, that has absolutely nothing to do with evolution. People are evil. Evolution is just a natural occurrence in nature. Let me close with that. Hey, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Go to the Real Black Atheist on Fire. Make sure y'all subscribe there. Go to abjewwear.com. All right. We got the boots. We got the shoes. Come down to the Black Dot Bookstore. Hey, what's the date on the class, Ben?
25th.
25th. We got a flyer to show the people? Real quick.
Yeah. Hold on.
It's going to be at the Black Dot Bookstore, Cultural Center, Lithonia, Georgia. The address is 6984 Main Street, Lithonia, Georgia, 30058. Man, come on down. Y'all can see me, man. I'm be in the building, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be there, man.
Y'all see it? See my screen?
Yeah, we can see the screen. Yes.
It is, gentlemen and ladies, warriors, and everybody else that want to come out, man. It's a Black Power powwow. Ujawu, God Killer, myself, Black Panther. Gonna be going over the Egyptian hieroglyphs, scientific literacy. I will be doing a piece on African spirituality, cultural bookstore, 6984 Main Street, Lithonia, GA 30344. Saturday, August 25th, 6 to 9 p.m. Y'all come on out and support us, man.
Yeah, come out, support us, man. It's free. You know what I'm saying? Come buy some shoes, buy some boots. You know what I'm saying? Support yourself. Huh?
Knowledge. That just lets you know, like I said earlier, we don't do this for money. We do this to see positive change in the community and to see things shift. You know, so it's free. Come on out. If you want to buy some shoes, you can buy some shoes. But to get this knowledge, free.
Because the knowledge is free, but the shoes cost money. Oh, yeah. Knowledge is free, but the shoes cost money. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Man.
But I know one thing. From 6 to 3, that ain't gonna work.
No, it ain't from 6 to 3. What you mean?
I mean 69, that ain't gonna work. 3 hours with y'all three.
It's my store, man. I can keep it open as long as I want. They can't put us out, Ben. They can't cut it short.
I'll just talk for the listening audience. That's 69.
Hey,
They
coming
gonna
out?
be bad now.
It's
Coming out.
it's Mujawu that's gonna do it.
That's what y'all gonna do it. Hey, Nahisi, you coming out?
Yeah, I come out there.
Oh man, we ain't put you on the flyer, yo. That's bullshit.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
That's some bullshit.
Y'all gonna get us.
I'm gonna make one. When the 25th, weekend after next, I'm gonna make a flyer with have your face on there, yo. Killed you. Yeah, I tell y'all what, the pseudos are so damn pseudo that they don't even have a building. That's how pseudo they is. Think about
Man, I'm getting out of here, man.
it. So hold on, Ben, don't go yet. We ready to get off.
No, man, come on, bro.
It's so pseudo. The only place they can go is on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't go to their own store or their own building and teach nothing. They gotta stand outside. They can't even stand outside.
Or sit in the car.
Crazy, yo. They gotta be in the car.
Hey, the
Shots fired.
Oh,
He said, sit in their car.
Hell to the no, nigga. Y'all is crazy, yo. Them niggas be yo. Pseudo Lex be in a car rocking. Yo be rocking.
Oh, man, this dude said he don't believe in buildings. Okay, man, we gotta go, Ben. We keep this dude in the chat.
where do you live?
He ain't say that. You couldn't have meant that stolen mine.
Where
We don't
do you
believe
live?
it.
Oh, he said,
You don't live in a building?
So where the hell he go when it's a thunderstorm?
unscientific. Tell you, man, they ain't read no books, man. It don't make no sense to watch their YouTube channel. They can't give you no sources, direct you to no real work.
I'm gonna go back and do 100 videos.
See?
Hey, stolen mine. Thanks for that free advertisement, bro. I'm gonna let you go ahead and rock out. Make about 10 more videos, yo. Let's keep it going, yo.
Buildings made by the white man. He's so scared of the white man.
He white man. Yeah. I bet you. Hey, I bet you he take that motherfucking vaccine. He talking shit. Shit. Talking bullshit, yo. They talking crazy. They get sick, yo. They run right to a hospital. Science, evolution. And the medicine they take, check this out, y'all. The medicine that they gonna take and give you at the hospital is evolutionary minded, bro. Trust me when I tell you that.
It ain't gotta be the hospital. It could be Walgreens.
Exactly. You ain't gotta go to the hospital. Go to Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Eckert's, whatever you got, man. Don't play with your health, man. I'm serious.
Funny, yo.
I'm serious. Don't play with your health, man.
Yeah, come on with the video, man. Keep going. Keep going. Yo, that shit crazy.
Right. We're gonna shut it down, y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging with us.
Hey, we had fun, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button. We got 58 likes. I appreciate that. We got 49. The 3 dislikes is Stolen Mine, Pseudo Lex, and some arbitrary numbnut somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's the 3 dislikes, man. Hit the bell so you know we go live. Go to the Raw Squad Media. This is where we at. All right. Go to the Raw Squad. Go to the Real Black 80s on Fire. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Mossy Clan Warriors. Go and subscribe to the Shashi Monty Metanecha. Powerful groups. Man, appreciate y'all coming through. We want to do this on a regular basis. It was a few references that I left out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them in the I'll put them underneath here. I'll put the websites in there, put the references so the pseudos can go start reading. Maybe they'll start reading. That's what they need to do. Start reading and leave me alone. I'm a Raw Squad up, man. Black African Power, man. Y'all already know what it is.